Hey YouTube, Matt here bringing you a slightly impromptu video this time. Sorry I didn't upload this week from Northampton's tournament. I forgot to actually take my camera, so I didn't have any recordings for anything. There wasn't anyone there that I could borrow a camera or anything off, so sorry about that. First thing to say is I recently hit 200 subs on the channel, which I am very, very happy about. So because I didn't do anything for 100 subs, I'm going to do some form of competition for 200 subs. Not sure yet, I'll get on to why I'm not sure what the prize is going to be at the moment. So I thought what I'd do is go over my deck profile from what I played last Saturday, because I made top 8 with my Hieratic Dragons. It was a bit of a different build than I've ran before. So I'll go over that now. So DN just crashed on me, and I tried to screen cap with DevPro, and that didn't work, so this is just a picture, so excuse that. So I ran a slightly different build, as I just said from before. I was having a look at just different builds online and saw a Mythic Dragon build that made top 16 at UK Nats. So this is what this is largely based on. So it started off with the basic tuners of the deck, so the Labyrinth and the Funbill Guard, then... Ooh, the order of this is weird. So, the next card on that list is the Mythic Water Dragon. So, there's also the Mythic Tree Dragon, of course. So, this was one of the main changes. A lot of the sort of Blue Eyes variants using trade-ins were starting to use sort of 2 of the Mythic Water, 1 of the Tree, and just as being standard. So, I thought I'd just give 1 of each a try. The top 16 Hieratic ruler deck at UK Nats did the same, and I found it to be very, very good. Just for the facts of all of the D rulers having a search target made a massive difference, and Felgran is just a very strong card. So then we move on to the D rulers themselves: the Blaster, the Tidal, the Tempest, and the Redox, pretty standard. Then the Hieratic Engine, the 3 Sue, the 3 Tef, and the 3 Accept. Dropping down the tuners to just the debris. I feel that because Madolche are becoming very popular now, and also I can't remember what card it is. Is it the it's the artifacts that pops things, but it actually doesn't target. So Leo Drake's not a strong pick as it used to be now, just because both artifacts and Madolches are popular cards. So then there's the Tree Dragon, which twins with the Water Dragon. The 3 Kura Bandit, just to get your mills going. If you can get a Kura Bandit and a Dragon Shrine early, you can set up all your plays for your big dragons pretty quick. Obviously, there's going to be those times, and there were those times where I milled 5 spells and traps, but then you can use what you have in hand, pick something appropriate, and it's still not necessarily the worst thing. Sure, it means you're wasting a lot of resources, but hopefully if you've got the right sort of hand anyway, it's not dire. So then moving on to the spell and trap lineup, we have the 2 Convocation, the 1 Wing Beat. The UK Nats deck that I base this on decided to side the Wing Beat. To be honest, I don't really know why. It's such a strong card that I thought it just has to be mained. I got it off once or twice, I can't remember because it's been a week now. Then the 3 Dragon Shrine. For me, if you get Dragon Shrine and your Hieratic combo to begin with, you effectively win, because you can get off first turn if you're going first. You can get off your Atum play with Draco Sack just as defensive play, set up your grave for the whole rest of the game. Going turn 2, if you've got 3 Hieratics in hand, 2 of them being a Tefnuit and a Sue, you can go off into the double Atum play, and you can actually get game from that. You can get game with a pop from Draco Sack and a pop from Sue. In the previous build where I was running MSTs, oh, actually, you've not seen that build. Yes, a build between the 2, I was main decking MSTs just because I was getting annoyed at back row, but I've decided to scrap that. But yeah, if you have an MST as well, you can get through a lot of things and then still have 8k on the board, because as long as you've ditched Blaster, the 2 Gaia Dragons in the extra deck and the Blaster is 8k exactly. And that's another thing about the UK Nats deck that I noticed. It was only running 1 Gaia Charger, which I found odd, just for those, because I got the OTK off, I think, twice that event, so, and you can't do that without 2 Gaia. So what he did is he replaced one of the guys for a Gauntlet Launcher, which is a card I have used, which is the rank 6, 2800 defense, and you can it's not up to twice per turn. You can detach twice to destroy 2 monsters. There's no once per turn thing, so you can just pop off 2 problems. Then only 2 soul charge. 2 soul charge is enough for me, plus I only had access to 2, but I drew it enough. Being able to soul charge for your tree and wood dragon is just incredibly strong, and being able to soul charge for one of the Hieratic pieces just to make yourself go off, or one of the D rules just so you don't have to banish the targets is really good. One of the main changes to sort of like the draw engine-y part of the deck is I decided to go back to upstarts. My reasoning behind that was that Reckless is good and it's cards on credit, but with this deck, a lot of the times you want to go off as quickly as possible, and going first and setting those Reckless if you haven't got the play can end up making you lose. So I went back to the upstarts to hopefully get the strongest first turn I can, and that worked. Hopefully Facebook didn't just bloop at you, but if it did, well. Then moving on to Book of Moon, and another new addition, or Burial from a Different Dimension. Card is way too strong, and I should have been playing it a long time ago, just for the fact that you can effectively get a free dragon summon, a free Brig Dragon summon is amazing. And also, if you've been forced to banish your Labyrinth Dragon, which did happen, you can get it back, and then your Hieratic players are still live. Moving on to the traps. Traps had the biggest change in the deck for me, so still running TT, still running Bottomless, because I believe those are the 2 strongest traps. Excuse me. But then I also ran my 2 Skill Drain, and then 2 new additions into Phoenix Wing Wind Blast. So the deck I based this on only ran the Bottomless, the TT, the 2 Wing Blasts, and I think Solomon Compulse. But I find Skill Drain to be way too good. The UK Nats version that this was built on sided the Skill Drains. I just decided to keep them main, because whenever I draw them, they're so good. So then the reason behind the Wing Blast is it's spot destruction, spot removal, but you can also ditch a card. Being able to ditch one of the big dragons from hand to graveyard just ends up being really good. So then moving on to the extra deck, which is largely unchanged. So we've got the Star Eater, the Crimson, the Scrap, the Colossal, the Stardust, the Black Rose Dragon. Moving on to the Exceeds. The only change here is the Felgrand, just because obviously you're running the Mythics. The 2 Draco, the 2 Gaia, the 1 Big Eye, the 1 M7, and the 2 Atum. Then moving on to what I can remember of the side deck, there was 2 Veiler, 2 Maxi, 2 Debunk, 1 Skill Drain, 2 Surgery. I'm not sure if they were there or not, but I think they were. 2 Emptiness, and 2 DD Crow. So that's it for the deck profile, but now on to the bad news is I've actually lost this deck. This deck has gone missing. I went to do a video deck profile of this on Wednesday. Went into my bag, all my folders are there. Another deck box I took with there, my tripod, my mat. Not this deck. This is still unaccounted for. I'm recording this on Saturday, so a week later this is still not accounted for. I posted a message on our Facebook group just to see if it turned up at the Milton Keynes event. Still not turned up. I thought I may have left it on the bus. I've contacted the bus company. They don't seem to have it either. One thing I might end up doing is actually try and see if I can get the CCTV from the bus just to see if I actually did leave it there, just for some closure on it. But in the moment, I'm pretty fucked. Excuse the language, but I'm pretty fucked. So, I've had this deck built in this incarnation, which I actually love. This is my favourite incarnation of the deck. I'd literally only put it together that week and played it, and it's gone. So probably £300 to £400 worth of cards, and I'm pretty much left with no deck that I can play anymore, because some of my best Exceeds are gone. I'd only had the second Draco for less than a month. Some of my best Synchros are gone. All of my best sides are gone. So, yeah. So, if anybody that's actually watching this / listening to this was at the Northampton tournament that week, I'll just have to have a look what the date was. On the 7th, who actually has any idea where this is, please get in contact with me as soon as possible through the channel or through my email address, so you can email me at northamptonyugi@gmail.com. So I'll still be doing stuff going forward, even because, honestly, if I can't find this deck, I may have to quit for a while, just for the fact that I do not have a deck that I'm comfortable playing at a competitive level. Because I don't even think I can go back to playing my old favourite of Junk Doppel, because I'm missing extra deck stuff. I can play without a side deck for fun, but I just think I'm missing too much of the extra deck. So I don't know. I thought about playing 6 Sams, again, extra deck problems. I thought about going back to Constellas, but to get the second Draco sack, I traded off the majority of the rank 5, so I traded off, I think, an Adrius. I'm not sure if I traded off the Tyrius, but I definitely traded off a Zen Mayo. So a lot of rank 5 stuff. I have a wind-up core. Again, I'm lacking rank 5s. I've got an Evil Swarm core. I could play that, but it's not a deck that I really want to play. I'm trying to steer away from sort of the control-based decks, because I do like control-based decks, but I like aggressive control, which is why I used to love playing 6 Sams, because being able to go Beast Barkion, come at me brah, is just too strong. But yeah, I don't really know. So again, if anyone was at that locals and knows where my deck is, please get in contact with me, because even if you know where it was and like you've seen someone steal it, at least I know where it is at the moment. I haven't got a damn clue, and until I go to locals next Saturday, I'm not going to know if any of them picked it up. So from next week, hopefully I'll remember my camera again. I'll be taking videos of finals. I'll be doing deck profiles. I might start doing, if I have the time, the profile of first and second like I did a few weeks ago. So, yeah, bye for now.